All right, my friends, today we're going to be talking about 3 signs of a mature mindset. I honestly believe that by the end of this video, you might be scratching your head just a little bit, contemplating what you've always presupposed about maturity. And I do hope that at the very least it inspires you to apply some of the things I'm going to be talking about. Now, we'd all like to think of ourselves as mature, wouldn't we? Because it's esteemable. I mean, it makes us feel good about ourselves if we've grown, right? We don't want to be handling things in a childish way. We want to know that we're getting better as we get to be older. But as you've noticed, and I've noticed, there are grown men and women who seem very immature. When we use the word mature or maturity, we're always talking about, whether it be plant, animal, or man, something that's fully developed. So if something is immature, it is underdeveloped. If we took a poll of 100 people, if we went out in the street and talked to 100 different people, which studies like this have been conducted, which is why I say this, but if you conducted a poll of 100 different people and you asked them what maturity is, they would have many different things to say. But if you boiled everything down, if you synthesized the words, what you would come up with is being able to handle life's situations in an age-appropriate manner. Correct? I mean, most of us could probably agree with that. But does maturity really come down to a matter of age? Does it come down to a matter of experience, education, or IQ? And some of those things could play a contributive role in the matter of maturity, but I don't think that they're required necessarily. People of great education, stations in life, maybe their IQ is high. Some of them still don't handle things any better than some children do. So I hope my point is well made today. If it is, let me know by commenting down below. Always make sure you see the description and leave a comment down below. Also make sure you hit your notification bell. So let's get into this topic of 3 signs of a mature mindset. I found what I believe is the most accurate definition of maturity. It comes by way of a man named John Finley. He was the president of the University of the State of New York and the education commissioner of the state of New York back in the early 1900s. And this is what he had to say about maturity. Here's his definition. He says, maturity is the capacity to endure uncertainty. Maturity is the capacity to endure uncertainty. That is rich and profound. I've had to think about this quite a bit. What does it mean to endure uncertainty? Well, there's no doubt in our minds what uncertainty is. Uncertainty is those things that hit us from out of the blue. We didn't know it was coming. We weren't expecting it. And in some cases, maybe we should expect them. These are the trials and the adversities that we go through, the tribulations and the anguish that we experience in life. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about enduring them, would we? But like I said, in some cases, we might think that, looking back, we might think we could have expected that, but no 2 lives really match up the same. We know that there are possibilities. We know there are things that could occur in our lives. We're hoping that they won't, though, right? But something's going to happen that we didn't expect. And when something catches us off guard and we're not emotionally prepared for it, sometimes you'll see people break down. They'll weep, they'll become angry, they'll emotionally disintegrate. But there's nothing of any real value in that. It doesn't teach you anything. And it certainly doesn't define what endurance means. Endurance doesn't necessarily mean just making it through uncertain times, lasting through the periods of tribulation and angst. That's not what endurance means, because we all make it through uncertain times, don't we? Every single one of us, regardless of how you handle it, regardless of how you think of it, we all make it through uncertainty. What enduring uncertainty means, enduring means to bear with patience. To bear with patience. So let me comment on that. What does it mean to bear with patience? Here's the three signs of a mature mindset. It comes directly from what the definition of endure means. So when you bear with patience, when you bear something with patience, it means, number one, to go through the gauntlet, without murmuring and complaining. Yes, that's right. Have you ever thought about that? You notice that people who don't handle the unexpected very well, the ones who gripe and moan and complain about it the most. They've got to tell everybody what's going on and how inconvenienced they are and how life isn't being fair to them at the moment. And if you really love them, you would do differently. You'd fix this problem for them. But that's not what endurance is. That's not bearing your trial with patience, is it? So number one, to go through the gauntlet without murmuring and complaining is to bear it with patience. Number two, to bear with patience means to understand that tough times pass. Whatever you're going through, whatever you're challenged with, comes and goes. It doesn't last forever. There is an expiration date. Things will ease up, and then they'll get hard again, and then they'll ease up, and they'll get hard again. It's like the tide, right? But you have to understand that. But there are some people who are going through something that you would think that they don't understand this at all. So understand that tough times pass. Number three, to bear with patience means to believe that good can come from seeming misfortune. This is why some people despair, and they're so vocal about it. They don't really believe that whatever they're experiencing, this misfortune that has befallen them, they don't really believe that it could be good for them in some way, correct? You know what I'm talking about. We're all guilty of it. I've done it. You've done it. And we certainly know others who are doing it. But good can come from misfortune. The skies may be dark, the clouds may be black, but they usually render rain, and rain means growth. Just because the sun is shining doesn't mean that it's, too much sun burns things off, it kills things. But it's nice to be warm. It's nice to have blue skies. But you can't be comfortable all the time. Things can't always go smoothly. You have to have this volleying existence between blue skies and dark. There is good that can come from misfortune. So those are the three signs of a mature mindset. I'll tell you what this does when you get down to the common denominator. Endurance breeds character and influence. It certainly builds your character, but true endurance, as we've defined it here, breeds character and influence. This reminds me of a passage in the book of Philippians. The Apostle Paul is talking to the Christians who can be certain that Roman persecution is going to be knocking on their doorsteps. They just don't know when. That's what's uncertain, because uncertainty is a guarantee. It's just that they don't know when it's going to happen. So here's what he told the Christians in Philippians chapter 2, verses 14 and 15. He said, do all things without murmuring and disputings. Do all things without murmurings and disputings, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God, without rebuke. There's a character I was talking about. Without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. When you live in a crooked and perverse nation, there is certainly a lot of uncertainty. And you might say to yourself, well, Greg, I don't believe in all that. I'm not a Christian. That doesn't apply to me. I get that. And good behavior doesn't make you a Christian, but I don't want you to miss the forest for the trees. that this kind of behavior does make you stand out. That's why he said, among whom you shine as lights in the world. That's why endurance breeds character and influence. If you want to stand out, if you want someone to follow your lead, if you want to be a good influence on others, handle uncertainty well, with endurance, bearing your trials with patience. I hope that's helped. Guys, if you want to know what I have in my beard today, today I'm using Viking Honor beard oil from the Beard Struggle, which I thought seemed appropriate, right? The Beard Struggle. And then I applied their Viking Honor Beard Balm. If you don't know anything about them, click on the link below in the description. If you decide to purchase anything, use Boswell20. It'll save you 20%. All right, guys, I hope that's helped. Like I said, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you thought. Give me your input. The words you choose to use and the way you frame your thoughts might give me a different way of thinking about things. And there are other people who are going to be reading your thread likewise. So keep that in mind. All right, guys, I've enjoyed my time with you. I hope you've enjoyed it with me. I'll catch you in the next one. Be wise.